Hey, what's happening to you guys? Pyros here and welcome back to another video. Today I kinda wanted to do more of a speculation video on Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Mostly focusing on the story aspect of the game, since this is going to be a single player exclusive game. There is no indication of it having any sort of multiplayer application of any sort. So a lot of people have been speculating how long the game is going to be. Is it going to be 10 hours, 20 hours, 30 hours long, and how far will the story stretch out? Now, a lot of the more common assumption, the common guesses for the game's length, for the story wise, is that the game's gonna cover all the way to the Buu saga, which is something that a lot of us kind of assume would be the case. But I've been watching the interviews and the press videos of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. The creator, the director of the game, kind of insinuated, in my opinion, that's how it came out for me anyways, is that the game may even go a little bit further, maybe even past the Buu saga, entering the battle of, I think the battle of gods and the resurrection of wow, my voice just died, the resurrection of F saga. Because technically those two movies, they do fall under the Z series. Like, you know how there's the Dragon Ball Z, then there's the Dragon Ball Super. The Battle of Gods and the Resurrection of F do fall under the Z banner in a sense, which would be pretty cool because we know that the battle scenes are going to be even more spectacular. Especially, I'm really looking forward to Goku versus Beerus, if that's the case, because we know it's going to be intense and insane. We'll go from planet Earth all the way to space. It'll be pretty insane. And then obviously, the Resurrection of F will introduce Super Saiyan Blue, Goku, and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta and all that stuff, and obviously Golden Freeze in the sense. And that battle, it will be even more spectacular in my opinion, because it'll just show more of a more calmer and cooler, whatever the case may be. Now, aside from that, I'm thinking that the story itself will be the main story. I feel like the main story will be 10 hours to 15 hours long. It's very rare for most of these anime games to exceed 20 hours of pure gameplay, as far as I can remember. Now, even Naruto Storm 4, I believe, I don't recall the game going past the 20 hours mark. I feel like the game had a 15 to maybe 10 hours worthy of a story, maybe even shorter than that. I just don't remember it. If anyone can remember how long it took for them to complete the story mode of the Naruto games in general, and that's without doing any of the extra missions or without trying to get the S rank. We're talking about sitting down, playing the game, and finishing the story without any distraction. I don't think the game has exceeded 20 hours of gameplay time. Now, a lot of people are obviously saying that this is basically a Dragon Ball RPG. So obviously there's going to be a lot of leveling up that you have to do to get to the next stage of battle. So obviously let's say for example you beat Raditz, and you're at level 5 when you finish beating Raditz, and then Nappa and Vegeta, they come in at level 10, so you probably have to level up a little bit before you can at least fight them. So we also have to factor that time in, and they could, in my opinion, fill those periods with a lot of fluff to make it seem like the game has substance, when in fact it may not even have any substance whatsoever. Like, it literally just might be, the grind might just be excruciating, and I don't know. It really depends. They also talked about how there's going to be character surprises in the game. So movie characters like Cooler, Android, I believe 13 and 14 maybe, and I think what other movie character, like Broly for example, the movie Broly, not the new one, the older original movie Broly. They may make an appearance, because we saw Android 18 or 8, I don't know what his name is. I don't know, I never really cared about him. He showed up as well. I don't know if he's a movie character or not. I actually don't remember him at all. That's the weird part. It's like, I see him, I recognize him, but I have no idea in what part of the Dragon Ball history he made an appearance, an impact or whatever. But anyways, they insinuated that, so that's pretty cool. So story wise, I'm not sure how long it's gonna be. I'm really guessing 15 hours tops. I don't think anime games have exceeded anything more than that, even if it is an RPG. I think the story will actually go further beyond the Kid Buu saga, maybe even touching all the way to the resurrection of F saga. I don't know if they're gonna do the Dragon Ball Super as DLC. I know a lot of people would like that. It's an easy way to make monies. I mean, it's gonna add a little bit more production time on their end, but I feel like a lot of people would enjoy seeing Dragon Ball Super in this type of animation, because CC2, when it comes to creating epic ass battles, they can do that. That's pretty cool. Now here's the one thing that's super concerning for me. Honestly, they decided to mesh traditional Dragon Ball fighting styles with the elements of RPG, which sounds cool on paper, but when you look at it, it seems really repetitive. And that's the one aspect I'm really concerned with, is that it looks really repetitive. And like, Goku doesn't even have that many movesets when you really think about it. We know the iconic Kamehameha, instant transmission. He knows the solar flare. He also knows after image as well. But most of the other moves that he knows are more of a, you know, like, how do I put this? They're not attacking type moves. They're more like moves that are more supportive to his abilities, in a sense. That's the best way I can describe it. It wasn't until going onwards into maybe the Super that he started showing some more creativity with his abilities. You know, he can turn his ki into like a Rasengan in the Broly movie. He can do instant transmission with the Kamehameha, we know that as well. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how that's gonna go down. I think the way that they're gonna balance the repetitiveness is to let you play as the other characters, because there is a character selection screen. Now I don't know if they're gonna actually allow you to play with the other characters, because we know you can equip people like Krillin, Piccolo, Yamcha into the squad, and obviously as you beat Vegeta, eventually he's gonna join your team as well. So there's that. Maybe that's their way of balancing the repetitiveness, because yeah, we know the game is called Dragon Ball Z Kakarot and it is about Goku in a sense, but that's the one aspect I'm kind of concerned with. It looks really repetitive. It looks fun. Like, the thing is, it looks fun, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna play fun, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's just my thoughts and opinion on it, mostly just focusing on the story as well. I feel like, I know the best and safest guess is that it's gonna end at the Buu Saga, which would be the safest bet so far. And they may actually try. I feel like this is their actual plan, is that they'll stop it at the Buu Saga, and then they'll add Battle of Gods and Resurrection of S as DLC. They can do that. It actually makes more sense. I highly doubt they'll go all the way to the Resurrection of F in one game. I don't think they'll do that. I think they'll actually make those two events as actual DLC for the game, which I don't know. Like, for me personally, I have to see how the game plays. Like, I don't know if they'll ever open up a demo for this game so we can see what's going on. But I know people are gonna try and what's it called? Data mine the game. So maybe they'll try and avoid that so far. But like right now, you'll probably see a lot of people playing it at the E3 press conference. And you know how it is. The people who tend to go play these games, they always like, I don't know, there's something about the people in the anime community. They hype up anything. It doesn't even matter what it is. They'll hype up anything. So I'm just saying, be more careful of that. Obviously, a lot of people are gonna hype it up. You'll have YouTubers who are flown over there to basically talk about the game. They'll hype it up as well. So I mean, they hyped up Jump Force. Keep this in mind. They hyped up Jump Force. People who played it hyped it up. People who have flown in hyped it up. But when the game finally came out for the public, we found out that this game did not live up to any of the hype and expectation that they were creating. So that's just my biggest concern right now, is that the game looks fantastic. I cannot in any way of shape or form discredit the visual aspect of the game. It looks fantastic, but the gameplay is what's gonna keep people obviously coming back to play the game. We've seen the Dragon Ball story over and over again, so it's not like when we are seeing something brand new. I know that this was actually something that was very interesting that they brought up, is that they're gonna be addressing certain aspect of the story that was never addressed in the wow, my voice is just dying. In the actual anime. I don't know, like, if they're actually talking about things that just weren't addressed in the anime, but it was addressed in the manga, or they're talking about both manga and anime. Like, there was something in the series of Dragon Ball that just was not addressed in the manga and anime, and they're gonna try and address it in the actual game itself, which is gonna be interesting to see what they'll do with that. But like I said before, we need to keep wary of this. It's easy to get hyped up, but we need to stay like constantly wary of situations like this. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. How far do you think the story will go when it comes to Dragon Ball Z Kakarot? I have two situations where I feel like it could go. Easily one, they can stop at Kid Buu and sell both Battle of Gods and Resurrection of F as DLC, or they could go all the way to both Battle of Gods and Resurrection of F and then tease the DLC for the Super Saga. Maybe they could leave Super as a sequel. They could do that, I don't know. Or maybe they could do this amazing thing and actually stop at the Cell Saga, but they wouldn't do that. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm Pyros, make sure to like and also hit the bell button as well, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.